Going, there we go. Alright.
Game resumed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with game number 3 between CowInaPie. Between CowInaPie, that's his name. It's his name now. It is, and ArticHydra. Yes, that's the original Ronald McDonald. So we have a green Terran, CowInaPie in the bottom left, right corner. Crap, I can't talk. Yes, thank you. and I'm giving you the
bottom.
Yes, there we go.
Bottom left. Playing Zerg is ArticHydra.
It is.
Ooh. Wait, are there extra minerals on this map? Or is it just because they're spaced out a
3,
bunch?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9.
Yeah,
that's one extra,
that's
right?
normal. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal for Starbow, not for StarCraft.
Yeah, it's 9 and 7. We do that sometimes. We have 9 in the main and 7 in the natural. The only reason to do it is that Brood War did it sometimes. We don't really know exactly why. It's just like, hey, Brood War did it. It's probably smart. I just want to mention that this map is called Luna. And it's a Brood War map that we ported over. And the very handsome map maker who ported it over and added all the cool texture was none other than... yeah. So... and I think I did an excellent job. Don't you say that? Don't you think that, Cyber?
This map is beautiful, I must say myself.
There's also
I've only made maps looking this good in StarCraft 2. Because now we only have trash.
It's actually quite sad looking, but whatever. There's a hit.
It looks better than StarCraft 2, therefore it's good in my book.
Okay, sounds good. There's actually a hidden Diablo in this map. See if you can find that. It's actually 3 or 4 of them, I think, somewhere. I found one of them at least. I should find them. I put them there, but I think there's like 3.
Well, I found one.
Okay, good. You know, there's nothing like finishing a long, good book and thinking to yourself, "Oh, there's Wally."
Oh, I found another.
All right, nice. This is what we have to do on this map.
There are 4.
There are 4.
There are 4.
There are 4 Diablos. So now we got it confirmed. Alright, so we have a really fast expansion from CowInaPie, and I like this because last game, okay, first game he rushes, Arctic is not prepared. Second game he rushes, Arctic is too prepared. So now he's gonna be like, okay, so Arctic is over defending when he sees anything. If I go for a fast expand and hopefully do like a very tiny push, Arctic is gonna like hyperventilate, make too many Zerglings and spine crawlers, and then I'm gonna be way ahead. Is kind of maybe what he's thinking.
You would hope. Because
Yeah.
then it makes him a genius.
Yes, he's an evil mastermind. I don't know if you noticed this, but we implemented something interesting with Zerglings and kind of on Zealots, is that if they're chasing a unit, it's really hard for them to hit the unit they're chasing. You have to like manually move them a little bit in front and then attack.
Yeah. Ooh, it just bugs me sometimes. But I mean, it makes sense. You gotta kind of buff the Lings in their pathing, because they are really good.
It's also to make it easier to keep a scouting worker alive. You have to like work to kill it a little bit. You can't just A-move to kill it. At least before speed kicks in. But even with speed, it's still...
Even with speed, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it'll go for him and it'll take 4 tries.
Yep.
Regardless.
So, Arctic is gonna spot this wall here. Oh, crap. Oops. Sorry. That
only
was
30 seconds behind.
That's
okay.
That was the other button. I was gonna click V and I clicked B, and B is back and V is vision. So I was gonna see if he spots this wall. Meanwhile, look at the pretty flames.
Ooh, nice.
Nailed it. All right. Now there was a complaint I got on my stream that I spent too much time looking at the doodads of the map, and I don't understand why. I don't think that's grounded in reality at all. So. Oh, but the link does pass, and he does see the wall, and he sees the expansion. Now I'm going to press the right button. No, he doesn't see the expansion, but he should assume it's there because of the bunker placement.
Yeah. Having a wall there is a pretty sure tell that he expanded.
Oh, I gotta tell you about a Brood War game a while back. Okay, so you see the Overlord of Arctic? Let's assume this Overlord was just a little bit closer to the mineral line, right? So there was a Brood War game where that was the case, where he was scouting the natural, he was just scouting the mineral patches, and his opponent knew when the Overlord was going to be there because they really calculated in Brood War. So he sent down a bunch of SCVs to mine there for just like a couple of seconds while he knows the Overlord is there. Then he scans, kills the Overlord, and then he goes for one base all in.
Oh, dirty.
That is so sexy, isn't it?
That's... You see, that's what I liked about Brood War. In StarCraft 2, no one does things like that anymore.
Yeah, you don't really need to, I guess. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
July Surg was doing stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, like, that was back when people still actually did play Brood War.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people were still in the mindset of, if I do this cool thing, maybe I can win a game. But now it's just, if I play Standard better than they do, hopefully I win.
So we're trying to not just bash on StarCraft here. Sorry if anyone is feeling offended. Starbow is its own kind of game. Anyway, we have a Spire from ArticHydra, and so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with this Mutalisk. I will say that his Mutalisk control was not completely on point last game, although he just brute forced his way into his opponent. Like he won, so he did something right. I'm not gonna criticize the guy who won. Well, I am, but not that much. Oh, I like that placement of the Spire. That's pretty sexy.
Ooh, good placement.
Upgrade complete.
So I
See, no, that is something people do in StarCraft. I remember watching J-Dong back in Heart of the Swarm, and he would literally proxy a Spire using an Overlord.
yes,
I
that's
thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
that is so cool. Sadly, though, the generate creep in Starbow you need a hive for because there were some pretty sick abusing strategy because of how strong spine crawlers are in this game. So that was
Can't you still pick up spine crawlers in Overlords?
yes, you can do that. But I was talking about the generate creep ability for the overlords. But you can't.
Yeah, but don't you need creep for spine crawlers?
Yes. So you gotta wait till hive. But you can do that. You can go for a spine crawler drop in this game.
I'm gonna like make that a thing.
You
Rush
should.
to hive.
Someone. Oh,
Rush to hive. Drop spine
oh,
crawlers.
I would
get
love you
ages.
if you did that. That would be awesome. I don't think I've seen anyone actually use that since we put it into the game. And here's the thing about Starbow. Like a lot of people would say, well, if no one's using it, it can't be good. But the thing with Starbow is there's so many Brood War players that just want to do their Brood War strats in Starbow. And we don't have that many players at all. So we can put it in a new unit and no one's ever going to use it because they don't want to. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means there's not enough competition and stuff going on in player base that people will explore it. Oh, he's going to try and get the... Oh, he even micros away that one Mutalisk. That was... Okay, that was on point. That was on point, Arctic. And he has a lot of mutas.
Ooh, he could kill siege mode here, and that's what it looked like he was gonna do there.
He's a little bit indecisive in what he wants to do. He kind of flies all over the place there. He's got a buttload of mutas though. That's 13. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, Mr. Snake is a little bit mad. Anyway. Oh, nice, he gets that one. This is an interesting muta build because usually you have like a 2-base muta that's more aggressive and earlier than this to kind of like punish, well not really punish, but just to deal damage. But this muta, this is kind of like reminiscent of Brood War. This is the kind of muta build you go for where you just want to keep your opponent in his base and scared for pushing, so you can get your third base going, like your third like money base, and get your lurker tech, transition into hive before he gets for the big push. So these mutas don't actually have to do a lot of damage, they just have to be alive and stay alive. But they are doing some damage, but they're also dying. So I don't know if that's a good trade-off for ArticHydra right now, because this gives his opponent confidence to start pushing out soon, and he's not quite ready for a big push yet. But he's getting there, he's got lurkers going.
Yeah, has a lot of tanks out. Not sure about tanks in this matchup. They can be good.
It's rough. They're very good versus lurkers in a way. Like if you can get them sieged up in your opponent naturally, you basically win. But it's getting there, that's the hard part. And
yeah, because tanks there aren't like the best unit against lurkers. They're not the best unit against mutas.
no.
So getting there is the harder thing to do, and I think it's easier without putting money into tanks, putting it into something better, like more marine production.
That's very interesting you should say that, because it took Brood War players a long time to figure that out too. Like a long time to figure out that. Because tanks were like a staple in TVC for the longest time, and then someone discovered that, hey, if you just go medic, marine, science vessel, firebats, you don't need tanks. You become much more mobile. You get dropships instead, and you just harass everywhere. And that's basically what you're suggesting here. Oh, these lurkers are not well placed. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, tanks do a lot of damage against eggs.
Yes.
If you ever want to cancel lurkers, they're the unit to use.
That is true. So Arctic is unfortunately going to lose his third base. I think that losing those mutas is coming to bite him now. because he should be able to stall. He could have stalled this push a lot more with those Mutalisks. He's got Mutalisks back though, but again, this is kind of too late, and he's losing them.
Yeah. It looks like he lost a lot of mutas. He did trade out somewhat well, but Marines are just, they're better than mutas. Even in big clumps, they will be able to shed through them.
Oh, he's got some lurkers and soilings here. He's going to try and clean this up. If CowInaPie scans correctly, he should be able... it's going to be difficult to say. It's going to be a close engagement, I think. Oh, he unburrows the lurker. No, this is bad for Arctic. Oh, this is really bad for Arctic.
Although tank damage, or splash damage, friendly fire, did come in handy. Killed, I think, about 2 or 3 Marines.
I think, like, even... Oh, wow, that's not the best expansion to take. I think even with the buff for tanks in StarCraft 2, I still think the tanks in Starboard are probably stronger. Because of the...
Yeah. Like, the tank buff in StarCraft 2, it made them better, but it's not like the best unit, even still.
I'm glad they did it, though. I feel it's a push in the right direction. I wish they had overkill, though, so you have to be a little bit more careful about spacing them out and stuff. So we have Arctic, he's very defensive now, he's down in supply, he's getting some more lurkers, but now CowInaPie can basically just contain his opponent and then keep building up that contain with science vessels and more units. But Arctic is sneaking in a couple of expansions. If he can live long enough to make economic gain from these expansions, he's actually going to try and push back before the contain even happens. Mutas, come on, you can kill that siege tank, there we go. This is pretty good from Arctic.
Not the best trades. He's morphing this out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes,
It will die.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, now CowInaPie is mobilizing his forces, and he's going to try and go for that contain again. He's got the science vessel now, which helps tremendously. So
1-1 on the way. Another thing I noticed about this game, upgrades take a long time.
Oh, they do. They take forever, and we're not. To be honest, I'm not quite sure if we like it or not. It's something from Brewer, and it's really hard to say from like a design perspective. It's quite difficult to ascertain what's it has pros and cons. It's really hard to say what's the best, if you know what I mean. Because these long upgrades, it means that you have to do a lot more planning with them compared to StarCraft 2. And that is like a skill to have, is to plan out the game in detail long before it happens. But then again, I don't know if that's a skill you want to reward. It's kind of difficult to ascertain. Oh, he's gonna get the siege tank. No, it has 3 HP. Come on. That's unfortunate.
12 kills on one tank, 3 on the other.
So CowInaPie, surprisingly, is just gonna go for this, it seems. I thought he was just gonna contain, but he's actually pushing all the way into the natural, and he can get away with it, because ArticHydra really doesn't have that much to defend with right now.
You know what CowInaPie should do? He should drop down SCVs and repair these 2 really low tanks.
I think you can only drop down SCVs on minerals now.
Minerals right here.
That's
like,
true. He could, yeah, they would actually survive now. If he did that. Oh, we've got a radiate going as well. Yeah, this is probably it, I think. We're gonna have... Oh, is the Scourge gonna get the... It doesn't really matter, but no. He's gonna try and burrow some lurkers. He's gonna push back a little bit. But I don't think 3 lurkers can hold this. Oh, that's actually 5 lurkers.
That's plenty of lurker power. But Marines are just better units in the end.
GG. So, 2-1 to CowInaPie.